Hi, I am Diana Shanta, and today I want to talk with you about the different kinds of expats that are out there. And I hope as we talk that you will figure out which category you fit into. So, there are three main types of expats that are within the Thriving Expats community. And the first ones would be who I call newbies. These are the persons who they are just getting into the new host country, and they're still in that kind of excitement and exploring, and their minds are fresh and energized and ready to reimagine life for them in this new place. They're also probably thinking about what life will be in the coming years based on all the new opportunities that they have come upon, based on the new location that they now reside. Now, for these persons, it's so important that they remain focused, or at least clear their heads of preconceived notions, of the expectations that others have placed on them, and begin to reimagine life. This is the best time when you are a newbie, when you are fresh on the soil, and this usually is anyone who has lived in a new location for a year or less. So during that first year is the prime time for you to spend a lot of time sitting with yourself and thinking about what it is that you want to do with your life from now on, because this is your chapter one, right? Now, this is not the time to be following fashion, as we would say growing up in Jamaica, to be copying what others are doing, or to try to measure up to someone else's idea of what success is. This is the perfect time for you to find out who you are and what you want to become, where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, and to set out some kind of strategic action plan to get from where you are to where you want to be. So that's for the newbies. The second category of expats within the Thriving Expat communities are those I call the veterans. These are the persons who have lived in their host country for 2 or more years, and they pretty much know the rope. They know how things work, they know their limitations, they know their advantages, and life has pretty much settled in for them. They are used to their new home country. Doesn't mean they don't have some frustrations or some surprises every once in a while, but they are no longer in that like fresh culture shock stage of life. And so for these persons, what they really need is resilience. And that's because it can really wear you down when you have to constantly be dealing with a different culture, and when you add another level by having to deal with a different language, especially if you are not fluent in that language. And so they need an extra dosage of strength, psychological strength, the ability to bounce back from the misunderstandings that they may encounter with their colleagues or their neighbors or new friends. They need the ability to cope with higher levels of stress, because they may find themselves in situations that are less than ideal and know that they have to endure because of certain goals that they have set for themselves. So for example, I remember in one of our Thriving Expat stories, Sydney shared how there was a period of her life that because she had her student loans to pay, she had to endure and cope with staying home when everyone else was going out to eat and to have fun, making trips here and there. So, but she had to stay home. She had to limit her spending, limit her fun going kind of the dreams and aspirations. She had to limit that, kind of draw that in, even if the opportunities presented themselves, because she had this big goal of clearing her debt, she had to focus on that. And that requires a different level of strength. And so this is the need of the veterans. They are the persons who sometimes they get really homesick because now the novelty of the new host country has worn off. And this is when they remember some foods that they used to eat as children. They probably wouldn't even like it if they were back home. But now they start having longings for it, cravings for it. Or they suddenly realize, oh, you know, there's this special place back home that I never visited. And now I'm seeing all these videos about this place and I wish I could go there. But they have a job or they have school responsibilities, and they can't just hop on a plane and go back home whenever they feel like. Now, the third category of expats within the Thriving Expat community is who I call the finishers. These people have either been in their host country for a long time or they have been globe-trotting for a long time. They have been away from their home country. This is the country they were born and raised in for a long time, and they are now thinking of one of two things: either to re-enter their country of residence or of birth, or to relocate to a brand new country. So for example, they might be a Jamaican that is living in China, and now they're considering moving to Abu Dhabi. It is a concept of re-entry if they go back to their home country, but relocation if they're choosing a new host country to visit and work and study or whatever it is they want to do. Now for the finishers, this is a time when it requires a lot of deep thought, because packing up to relocate or to re-enter your home country requires a lot of capital, a lot of planning, because you are going to need to get in touch with people on the ground in your next destination and make sure that things are the way you would like them to be. Ideally, some people, they go for a short visit in the next location they plan to live in and they put things in place, but not everyone has that privilege. So these are some of the considerations that a finisher has. They also need to determine, have I accomplished what I set out to do? A lot of finishers that I talk to are at that place when they're itching to leave their current host country, but they know in themselves that they haven't attained every goal they set for themselves. And so this requires a lot of strategy. This requires a detailed action plan. This requires focus, lots of resilience, just like with the veterans. They require a lot of resilience to push through to that next chapter, that next milestone. So whether it is they need to acquire a certain amount of funding, or they want to put together, immigration paperwork, or to sort out housing and other accommodations in the next location. It's a lot of work to relocate, especially if you're not going home. I'd like to ask you, which one of the categories do you fit in? Are you a newbie, fresh on the scene? A veteran, you know the ropes? Or you're a finisher, you're ready to go? Please drop it in the comments. Let me know which one you are. Or maybe you're not even out of your home country and you are looking to become an expat, and you're just kind of prepping yourself by watching these videos and learning what it's all about. Well, let me know which category you're in, and let me know what it is, the approach that you're using to make sure that you thrive while you're abroad. See you.